3, 2, 1.
Hello everybody, it's Elizabeth. This is my first attempt at a video blog. I'm going to make a lot of mistakes today. I'm already giggling in my head about the mistakes I'm potentially going to make. Feel free to leave nasty comments over on the side. Okay, I have a couple of thoughts for you guys today. A lot of the sales managers and some of you and the DMs have been talking about something we've been struggling with that I don't know if it's unique in general to the marketplace, but certainly we're experiencing it now. And that is the idea that customers come to us, we have what we think are great interactions with them, and that, potentially we even set an appointment with them, and then they disappear off the face of the earth. And I know we've talked about feeling a lack of urgency in the marketplace and things like that. So what I wanted to do today was kind of give you some strategies and tactics to address that and hopefully get to the point where we're getting a little bit better reaction from our customers and a little bit better, two things. One, selling people in a shorter amount of time, closing that sales cycle. But two, also getting better response on our follow-up to get people back in with you. So that's the overall desired result, right? The strategy is improved discovery to the point where we're uncovering objections to shorten the cycle, or we're losing quickly. Carrie Wagner, you know what losing quickly is, right? Coined that phrase for me. So let's talk about a couple of tactics to employ. Tactic number one is going to seem very obvious to you. It is keep your competitive information handy and complete. So that means not only competitors' brochures, but also lot availability, deliveries, current, not only current incentives, but also, what sales rep is there? What kind of service do you know they're going to get from that particular person? It's everything. Quality of lots, everything. You guys know how to shop your competition. So I'm saying have it all in front of you, easily accessible. The second thing is, of course, resales. We have a couple of opportunities here, I think, to enhance what we do. Most of you, I know, get your resale reports. You get them on a weekly basis, sometimes on a daily basis. That's all great. In addition to that, you need to do things like Zillow alerts and have alerts for resales that pop up in your marketplace that would affect you. They need to be hitting your phone or hitting your computer as soon as they come out so that you're aware of any resale that would really affect you. Make sure that when you're taking those resale reports and the competitive information, I'm going to give you a little bit of an application now. Make sure that what you're doing is you're uncovering where else the prospect is looking, right? So you uncover that they're looking at resales in general, or you uncover that they're looking at the competitor across the street. Well, now you have to have an open dialogue with them. Many of you may remember this from our CCS strategy class about the benefits and the downsides of what they're looking for. So you're going to start by acknowledging, I can understand exactly why you're looking over at Drees at Glenkirk. I get it. It's been a great community for them. It's, the lots are nice. And I know Brian, the sales rep there. He's terrific. I can understand why you'd look there. And then you have to have a conversation about what are the benefits and the downsides to the customer. Let's remember, sidebar, that you know that these people have already done a lot of research, right? We keep establishing that over and over, that the research and opportunities available to people are so prevalent that most people know a lot about the things they're going to go out and see before they ever talk to you, right? So you know that they know some things about Drees at Glenkirk. So you're going to talk about what are the benefits to that to you? What are the downsides? Flip the conversation and talk about benefits and downsides to buying from you. So you have to have those conversations. Lindsay Fuller gave me a really great tactic when we were talking the other day. She was talking about resales and competing with resales inside your community. So you can't really sell it, it's a better community, you can't really sell lot quality necessarily. So what she would do is she would take it and she would, have her cost estimate open, and she might say, okay, I see, in our cost estimate, we did the morning room, and you wanted the morning room. This house doesn't have the morning room. Do you want me to take that out of the estimate? And really get that customer thinking, well, no, I don't want to lose my morning room. Okay, well then when we talk about the price difference between my house and this resale, we got to talk about more than just the price, right? It's a great tactic to have an open discussion about your competition without it being defensive in any fashion, because that's really a key. Let's talk about pitfalls to this. Because very often, reps will say to me, well, Elizabeth, I hear what you're saying, but here's the challenge I have in rolling this out and actually employing this tactic. Here's potential pitfalls. First, we got to own that we may be afraid of our competition, afraid of our new home competition, afraid of the 5 resales that just popped up in our neighborhood. We got to own that we may be afraid of those things. And we have to kind of acknowledge either we have a good solid USP or we don't. And imagine the power of talking with your DM. You're talking with your DM or your sales manager, and you've had these conversations. You've had these very great, really open benefit downside conversations with customers. And now you have this ammunition when you go to your sales manager and your DM to discuss maybe something you'd like to tweak or a way you'd like to reword the USP, or what people are really telling you is the benefit to buying from you in your community. That may be different than the USP we have advertised, see? So you got to kind of own either my USP is good or not and not be afraid of the competition. Second potential pitfall. What if the customer comes in and they don't know where they're shopping, looking, they don't know what, if they're going to look at resales, or they haven't identified location, or they haven't identified price point. They haven't really narrowed themselves down. I think we have to embrace this and realize that this is really a pretty kind of cool moment for you, because you have 2 opportunities. One opportunity is you can continue to discover around needs and circumstances and satisfy where you can meet those needs and circumstances to continue to reel them into you, and potentially rule out other things like, okay, you're not going to find that in a resale, or you're not going to find that in my competitor down the street. It's one of the things that makes me special. You get to throw those things in, so you help them narrow, right? The second thing that tells you, potentially, is that the reason they're not telling you where else they're looking is because they've already decided to buy from you. And you've got to uncover that. You've got to say to them, I'm a little confused. I'm surprised that you're telling me you don't really know where else you're looking, because that's so rare. I mean, gosh, there's so many choices out there. Talk to me about that. They may tell you that they're your buyer. That step, by the way, just so you know, that only works if you're confirming. Which brings me to tactic number 2. I think we're on tactic number 2, right? Yeah, tactic number 2. Okay, so that's confirming. We got to do more of the confirming step. Let's define what that is, okay? Remember that confirming is a clear understanding of whatever it is we're talking about. And I'm referring to confirming that you've identified the proper need, or need behind the need for to use that language, or that you've confirmed that you're on the right track with your customer. Confirming is simply, here's what I'm hearing you say, here's how I'm interpreting that. Are we on the same page, Mr. Customer? Yeah, we are. Great. That's a confirming moment. So it can be confirming in a number of different regards, but we're not doing enough of this. I feel like that's the case because we do have so many people not showing up for appointments or falling off the face of the earth. So I think this is something we're missing. So let's talk about a confirming tactic, okay? When you're confirming, you've got to be talking with customers and making sure that they are committing to you out loud and with some relative conviction that they are tracking with you. I'll give you an example. If you're walking a home site with a customer and the couple that you're walking a home site with doesn't really respond verbally when you say, what do you think of this home site? Isn't this great? How do you feel about this? If they just give you kind of a meh answer, maybe it's sort of positive, maybe they tell you it's nice, that's not confirming. They did not confirm that you are on the same page. Conversely, if they say to you, yeah, you know what, you're right, this is what we've been looking for, or yeah, you're right, I get it, this meets all my needs, I'm on the same page with you. That's confirming. So you get to use that later on, right? When you're closing them for whatever that next proper step is, you're going, hey, we already did this. We agreed that this home site was absolutely, going to meet all your needs. Or it may help you to confirm that others don't meet their needs, and you can help them rule out. Again, you can go back to the competition and go, they don't have home sites that are anything like this. So you get that opportunity. It only works if they say it out loud and with relative conviction. A secondary confirming tactic is something that I've been talking a little bit about. It's something it's a bit of a pre-sale buyer's remorse conversation for those people that you don't sell to on the first day they walk in. Because I'm sure you sell to people all the time the first day they walk in. So let's say you're going to have to get them back in front of you. You're going to have to follow up with them, right? You have to have a conversation with them about what they're going to feel and think later on. This process can be overwhelming. There are so many choices out there for them. And they've met you and they love you. They recognize that you're better than the other people they've seen out there, and that's great. But if you add an element, if you consider adding the element of, hey, look, when you leave here, your head's going to be spinning. There's so much to think about. There's so much information I've given you. And on top of that, there's so many choices in the marketplace. Give them that expectation that they're going to see it. And then tell them, you made the right choice by coming in and seeing me today because I'm an expert in my marketplace. I will be very happy to talk through anything that crops up that makes you feel like, well, you know what? Maybe Virginia Manor isn't the right place for me. Maybe I need to reconsider some other communities. Talk it through with me. I'm such an expert in my marketplace. I'll be delighted to tell you, hey, I think this is the right choice for you and here's why. Or I think you're right. We may be able to find a different alternative for you that works. We can't be afraid to tell customers we'll help you make the right choice even if it's not me. One of the best phrases I ever heard regarding that topic was to say, whether you buy from me or from somebody else, there's a lot of information out here that is not self-evident. I'll be happy to help you maneuver through all of that and figure it out. Whether you buy from me or from somebody else. Don't be afraid to use that tactic, okay? So the last thing I want to talk about is tactic 3, preparing for the result. If you've ever heard anybody use the phrase debate prep, what that means is that, so often it's referred to in presidential politics. So, you've got the Democrat and the Republican nominee, and they're going to have a debate. Well, they go into rooms with their people, and one person represents the other person, and they throw all kinds of crazy questions at them. They say different things. They throw difficult questions. They throw objections out there so that the candidate that they're working for gets that debate prep and is prepared for anything that comes at them. I think sometimes we don't get prepared for what comes at us. So here's a thought I had. Do some debate prep. Get with your sales assistant, your trainee if you have one, your SM, a colleague who's in another community, whatever, and do debate prep. Have them throw objections at you and then talk through how you should handle them. I can't imagine the benefit of calling a sales rep that I trusted and going, hey, throw some objections at me. I'm going to work it through. And then have them tell you, oh, that sounded great. That wasn't defensive. It sounded great that, how you solved it, how you managed to deal with it. Imagine the power of that. And we're not doing enough of that. Take this idea and roll it back into the non-defensiveness. Okay, that's the last tip I have for you. That if you take those objections and you simply fire off at the customer the reasons that they shouldn't care about that objection or that they should still buy from you, that's not going to get you anywhere, right? We see it all the time. That's the defensiveness that we talked about in our CCS strategy. So make sure that you're doing that same thing that you would normally do. Well, here are the benefits to this. Do you see some downsides? What are the benefits and downsides to the alternative? All comes back to that, okay? That's what I have for you today. Thanks so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed this. I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know what reaction I'm going to get. If we get a good one, maybe we'll do another one. Maybe some of you should do a video blog. Talk to you soon. Thanks, guys.